And today is my parents' anniversary. So happy anniversary to my parents. Ah, and as you can see, I just jumped right in. This is going to be my 401st video on YouTube. I've been throwing them on Facebook still because that's my main page. I'm trying to build up the YouTube. I'm gonna share a link eventually. I try to share links periodically to my YouTube page. I forget what number I'm at. I can look all that information up. I've acquired maybe 2 or 3 extra subscribers. I still haven't reached 100. That's the goal. The goal is to get to 100 first. So I'm still in the 70s. We'll figure it out. Today is also my cousin Kanisa's birthday. So shout out to her. And and there it is. I just wanted to get the birthday wishes in. It's September, so full of Virgos, and I haven't been feeling the Virgos the past couple years. Um, but there's no hate towards them, and my mom's actually on the cusp. She's a Libra, um, and then she tried to talk bad about us Aries, but it is what it is. The zodiac signs. But yeah, I'm jumping on real quick. I'm gonna share a little bit of Dana with the data today with Judge Joe Brown. It's just their turn in the rotation. I'm trying to rotate them. DeAndre he's been going all in, and I can share him every video, but his topics is, I mean, he's just too on point for a lot of the and that's why I got the anti-racist baby thing on here, because y'all still don't understand the detriment of Ibram X Kendi, right? And his false Malcolm X persona. It's the same as Little Nas X. It's yo, man, y'all representing the y'all really disrespecting the name of the elder. I'm trying to keep it as 100 as possible. When you do stuff like that and then link it to that LGBTQIA plus DEI PDF files, this is what the result is, and that's the whole Charlie thing, that's going on. And it's no hate towards him. I mean, the man was killed. That's moronic to celebrate the death of a man, especially that had children. But that's what the crazy folks is doing. And as soon as I say that, I'm marked for death now. And being a Trump supporter, and all of the negative things that goes against the leftist liberated Democrats. That's why it's troubling when Barack doesn't come out and then just start telling y'all got to tell the truth now. You know what I mean? Barack, uh, what's her name? And I see now. I start trying to think about them, and Kamala, and of course, but Biden's not going to tell the truth. Biden just wants to live his last days dying, think that he made the right decisions, but they was the worst decisions you could have made in mankind, right? But he really didn't make the decisions. He just played his role of being the president, and I'm Irish, and I'm a colored Irishman, and I'm against white supremacy, and Trump is the white supremacist dictator, evil man, and we're still seeing the after effects of that, and now people just don't understand the problems with Crying Wolf, as I've been trying to elaborate on recently, as a children's book that y'all really need to read with your children, along with the Three Little Pigs, Little Red Riding Hood, and Pinocchio. Goldilocks and the Three Bears, that's a different story. Anti-racist baby here, completely different story. And it's the Ashley, what's her name right here? Ashley Luca Shea. Luca Shavisky. Let me see if I can bring her thing up. All right, so I had to look her up on you know, I can look her up on here. This is her on on Google, right? She's a LGBTQIA plus dot PDF uh, leftist liberal. She's the leftist. She's the visual artist of the book, right? So that's why she's drawing androgynous babies and making quotes of such on here to all of the young people whose own imaginations are unbound by the imaginations of state violence and white supremacy, and who hold the power to build a world that is anti-racist. I believe in us. But these followers are turning out to be some of the most violent people on the planet, and then blaming who? Hip hop culture. It's crazy how it flipped back to that. First of all, we're the ones that pointing out the femicide, and that's what I go back to my list. Bianca Robinson popped up on my feed again. This was a young lady in Philadelphia that was shot by a white man, not too far from where I live on Route 100. All right. Lakeisha Sherelle Thompson earlier this year in May, was outed, canceled, unalived by 5 illegal immigrants. Damara Thompson, recently by an illegal immigrant. Ebony Kitchen, that's one from Philadelphia. That was our own doing. Well, we still don't know the killer, I don't think. I had to look up that information. She was in 2020, December, just as Biden was taking office and they was getting rid of Trump. That's when everybody's wearing masks, and a fellow just pulled up and blew him right on the middle of what street? It was in Northeast Philadelphia. Roosevelt. No, it wasn't Roosevelt Boulevard. We'll get back to the streets and everything. I don't spend too much time in the hood like that, like I used to. And then Sandra Bland. That's when I thought of just before I came on. So we got to remember Sandra Bland. And then Breonna Taylor. That's the classic one, right? We'll get to that too. And then all this is the personal one is. My colleague in college, Robin, her picture photo came up again today, and I mean it's ridiculous the amount of femicide that has been going on, and there's no mention of an anti-hate crime for black people, because then if it's black on black crime, it's not a hate crime, and since the guy Charlie Kirk just killed, it was white on white, but it's still considered a hate crime because allegedly that the shooter had a trans boyfriend or girlfriend, should I say. There it is. And with all that summed up of how we got to where we are right now, and how me explaining the truth just now is going to get me in trouble for practicing the freedom of speech. And what does freedom of speech even mean in this country? Is weird. It really is weird, and it is. We should have our right to tell the truth, at least, right? And then share knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to help everyone achieve freedom, justice, and equality. So I can go on and on and on, but I'm gonna share a little bit of Dana with the Data with Judge Joe Brown. Pay attention. It's 10 minutes. It's their take on the state of the world right now, and as they share their thoughts, and it is weird for even them to be in the crosshairs of the hate of this leftist liberated democratic mentality, or whatever it is that the globalists have taken control of our country, and are using these woke folk, the LGBTQIA plus people, to cause chaos, and then act like it's actually the white supremacist. But as soon as black people we say anything to the fact of one God or love God, we're touted as being supporters of MAGA and being Uncle Tom sellouts and are under attack also, you know. And anything to the opposite of that is victimology or anti-victimology, not double negation, which is like the fourth or fifth tautology. I'm still on the first tautology of excluded middle, because making the choice between love or hate should be easy. It shouldn't be complicated. So we'll we'll jump into a little bit of gameplay. I think I'm gonna go with a little bit of Final Fantasy Tactics. Not too long of it, just to rap about it and share a little bit of the visuals of it. But let me go right into this video, and then I'll be right out. I might have spent too much time just now. Yeah, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. That'll be a 30-minute show. But it's been a little while since I did a show, so that'll make up for the lost time. So enjoy the presentation, and I'll be right back.
Bill Maher talking about Charlie Kirk.
Just the fight I am been having with the left, while I'm, of course, the irony, as a lot of people in my position, is still a liberal, just a traditional liberal, won't go along with their, like a lot of the stuff that's just crazy out there too far, which gets Trump elected, blah, blah, blah. As I always say to my woke friends, we voted for the same person. You're just why she lost.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Took me a second. Sorry, I had to absorb that.
Okay. You know, they're the people who don't want to talk. It's my main issue with them. And Charlie Kirk was a guy who, like, he was always talking. And I talked to him here. You know, the right wingers say what you want about them, but they talk to you. They're not into this leftist think. The left really has much more of a, I don't talk to you, I don't want to deal with you, you're deplorable, I can't break bread with you.
Yeah.
That attitude, and like all the right wingers, they don't have that attitude. Now, again, I didn't vote for them. And Charlie Kirk and I certainly don't agree on much politically, but he sat here, he's a human being, he's not a monster.
And a husband and a father.
Yes. And I liked him. I liked them all. They're all nice people when you meet them in person. And they're not as crazy as they would. Nobody's as crazy as they make them out to be.
So and that's what I do appreciate about Bill Maher is his ability to be very objective, because you don't have to agree with everyone, and just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean you need to have an attitude or be nasty, or be rude or talk bad about someone. Listen, have a good debate. Have a good debate. And that is why a lot of people are sad and upset about, first of all, how he died. And I think that's what's really bothering a lot of people, the way he died. And I get it, because that was horrible. But people who are he has millions of supporters. They had the big rally in London this past weekend, and I think it was that guy Tommy Robinson who led the rally. Now, I'm not a fan of Tommy Robinson, because I've heard a couple of things that he had said about particular religions and groups of people. However, they were chanting Charlie in UK, so he has a very large following, good and bad. But just because you think of someone in a negative way, when something like this happens to somebody in a horrific type of way of dying, does that give you the right to be nasty and to celebrate somebody's death? No. Um, Listen, he was able to dish it out, Charlie Kirk, and you know he knows what comes with the territory of being a public figure. But whether I agree with you or not, what I love is the ability to debate, to discuss, to have, whatever discourse, to talk it out. Even if we walk away and we still are on opposite sides, come with respect and you leave with respect. And a lot of people who you disagree with are generally nice people. But I do feel from the left, a lot of people from the left, they could be very nasty and rude and crazy. So people want to paint MAGA as crazy and rude, but if I had to choose, that is just a response that MAGA people is throwing back because they're defending themselves. But an initial approach, when you initially have some type of conversation with a MAGA person versus a left progressive liberal Democrat, the left progressive Democrat are always nasty and crazy. Hi.
If you disagree with them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you disagree with them, they're nasty and they're crazy and, you know.
Well, it's their thing. They tend to lack self-confidence in themselves, but they have a real weird assurance that they are right, and in their righteousness all must fall before them. All principle, all nuance.
So Black Chulo says Charlie Kirk is a white supremacist, but even if he is, I would still debate a white supremacist. So what if you think that?
Well, I know a lot of young black folk that follow him.
Yes,
and most of the ones that have a problem with him, they are more often to the fact that it's an obvious target for the con they're selling, which is follow me, subscribe, do what I say because I tell you you are a victim and I tell you that these other folk are devils. So follow me. And that gets you nowhere at all because it does not lead to solutions. That thing might have been subject to a bit of functionality more than a half century ago when colored, the Negro, black, Afro, black needed some motivation to get out from under this mindset of feeling inferior. And what's going on is instead of it moving on from there, it's devolved, and now again we have a new set of parameters that establish the feelings of inferiority. It's kind of crazy, and it's obvious if you know what you're looking at, but most people don't. So it becomes self-defeating.
Yeah. Well, I want to start off talking about Trump and the National Guards, right? He's bringing a task force to Memphis, and he made he was live today at the Oval Office making an announcement, signing a memorandum, and I want to play a couple minutes of this clip.
Who's standing with us, as you know. I'm signing a presidential memorandum to establish the Memphis Safe Task Force, and it's very important because of the crime that's going on, not only in Memphis, in many cities, and we're going to take care of all of them, step by step, just like we did in D.C. We have virtually no crime in D.C. right now, and we're going to keep it that way. It's our nation's capital. We're going to keep it that way, or we're going to federalize it if we had to, but we don't have to anymore because it's in such great shape. This task force will be a replica of our extraordinarily successful efforts here, and you'll see it's a lot of the same thing, although the numbers here are really something. They're really bad. Now, we did send FBI in about 4 months ago to work, and it brought some of the numbers down, and they did a great job, but we're sending in the big force now. We also sent them into Chicago on a sort of a moderate basis, and we brought down crime a little bit in Chicago, but we're now going to bring it down very big. We're going to be doing Chicago probably next. I was with a great businessman, a man who is involved in all cities through his business. And I say, who do you think should be next after Memphis? And he said, sir, you've got to save Chicago. We're going to wait a little while. but he said, you got to save Chicago. You can't let it go. And this is a very prominent man that everybody knows in this room. Another man in Memphis was saying, Bill, he was saying, very interesting, he's on the board of FedEx. And his hotel is about a block away. And he said, when I walked there, I said, you know, I don't want to do this again. I never want to do it again. And they won't let me walk there. They take them in armored vehicles. They take the board members of FedEx in armored vehicles like a block away to the hotel. This shouldn't be the U.S. This shouldn't be the United States of America. The task force will be a replica, as I said, and it's going to be, I think, equally successful. This is a tremendous success we've had in Washington, I can tell you, and everyone knows it. And people in the White House that work here and other people that I know are calling me and thanking me. They're going out to dinners. They're doing things that they haven't done in years. The effort will include the National Guard as well as the FBI, ATF, DEA, ICE, Homeland Security investigations, and the U.S. Marshals, and more along the prosecutors. We're going to have DOJ led by U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, who is here or not here? Who's that person here? That person is going to be very busy. So we're going to have U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, and most importantly, Pam Bondi's here. She's heading it up, and she's doing an unbelievable job in every respect beyond this. So also worked with some of the members of the team right here on D.C., and we're very proud of that effort. We essentially had the crime down to a very low rate in 12 days, and within another 10 days after that, it was so incredible. And it can.
And that's the news. Right? That's how I gotta do it these days. And that's the news. I gotta move the flow from that. And well, I mean, what more can I say, you know? This is Final Fantasy Tactics, the War of the Lions. The War of the Lions. But they redid it, they're gonna redo it. And let me come out of this screen, because calling myself foundational black American is getting me in trouble. In fact, let me cut that what's the name music off. I don't know why I added that back again. New age music. I'll say that for the next broadcast. I'm trying to step out of the news. I'm trying to be strictly on. Let me continue. I'm trying to stay strictly on. Okay, let's go. Oh, I'm an Aries. Okay. So, all right. So I was in the middle about to start a battle. So, like I was saying, this is Final Fantasy Tactics, and let me throw my crew together, Rich, real quick. I'm just okay. Oh no, I can't go into battle by myself. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Chemist. Oh, he can't be. Oh, he has to be right there. What else? How many people? Can I have 5? Or just 5? My fault, Carrot. Oh, it's Carrot. I thought it was Carrot. Okay. Alright, and then we go into battle. Garaland. Did I already do this battle? Man, I already did this battle. Oh well. I thought I saved after this battle. Or maybe it's a different save space. But anyway, y'all get the routine. Y'all can, you know. I shared this game before. I think I already did a what's the name of this battle? Because I think what's the name is in it, right? Commence. you know. Because, yeah, Delights is in it. I gotta know how to spell his name or say his name. He's like the future king or something like that, the story goes. I never really finished this game, I don't think. Played it on the PlayStation 1. Well, anyway, what more can I say about politics? I'm tired of talking about it. I'd rather talk about the Switch 2. This game here is supposed to come out, be redone for the Switch 1 and 2. And yeah, I am thinking about it, but I know one game at a time. I should play it on my phone first, right? And there it is, you know. Yeah, the leftists compared to the liberal is a funny thing. It is like you're dealing with children. They, you know, I'm not talking to you. You're not the friend. You're not the leader. That kind of attitude. I don't trust you. Serious trust issues. You're not gonna go anywhere with that. There's no way to teach and learn. So that's the current state of things when you're dealing with the Democrats, pretty much, and that's why they look as bad as they do, and that's why I'm one of the few that's saying just let them go, and we'll create a new party. We'll call it, you know, you can call it the Foundational American Party. I don't have a problem with that. I do want to get away from Foundational White American Party because. Or people calling themselves Foundational White Americans. The reason why we call ourselves Foundational Black Americans is because of Medgar Evers, John F. Kennedy, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Robert F. Kennedy, and Fred Hampton. Like, those are just a few of the names. Because you did, in the 60s, you did deal with a lot of male deaths. It's just weird that, yes, we still have male deaths going on today. I shared the femicide, the female deaths that, you know, deaths, they are representing less than 1% of the population, just like Charlie's, he represents less than 1% of the population. But then we're still uplifting the creators of mental health issues in the 1%. And it's like, yeah, Biden did help, like, did give them permission, like, positions of, you know, by showing favoritism to their mental health issues. Thusly, a lot of people suffered, especially, you know, Foundational Black Americans, because we are the measuring stick of what racism in a form called white supremacy truly, or superiority truly is. It is the white woke Jesus, you know, and, you know, they're going to act like it's us being black people being anti-Semitic, when we're just trying to have peace and happiness on the land underneath our feet here in America. This has been another quick love God moment, even though it doesn't sound like it. I mean, we just got to stop lying. Stop crying wolf, tell the truth, and enjoy life. Love God, our Father, all the time. Hip-hop, life, love one. That's God is love. Hip-hop is life, time is holy. Money is nothing more than that fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist. Because hip-hop is actually the art of making the most out of life. Y'all keep calling it economics, and then involving some of the most defunding black people of their civil rights and imaginable on the planet Earth. So, but we just trying to enjoy the community consciousness and culture that we love and cherish, that we call hip-hop. Hip means to know, it's a form of intelligence. To be hip means to be up to date and relevant. Hop is just a form of movement. You can't just observe a hop, you gotta hop up and do it. Hip and hop is more than music. Hip is that knowledge, hop is that movement. Hip and hop is intelligent movement or relevant movement. We selling the music. So write this down in your black books and journals. Hip, hop, culture is eternal. Run and tell all your friends. An ancient civilization has been born again. Shout out to the teacher, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick the Ruler, EPMD, LL Cool J, Stetsasonic, and then, you know, the list goes on and on. Oh, Houdini, one love, one love. Be happy just to have just one love. That's God is love. One, God is understood. Peace and happiness to you all.